Yeah, I just got back from a meeting with my probation officer, and it was an argument, and it got heated. Um, you know, it started with me saying, you know, me getting there. We met, walked in his office, asked me how things were going, and I said just another day. And the lady that sometimes is there, I think that's his boss. If she's not a boss, she's definitely like a witness, you know, to whatever is going on. And he starts saying um, that every time I come in there, you know, I want everyone to feel sorry for me. I get this all the time. I don't know. Maybe someone could tell me um, what they think of me, and if I'm always trying to get people to feel sorry for me. But you know what? In fact, I don't give a fuck if you fucking say that. I don't care what you say anymore. I don't care what anyone says about me, um, because you know what? I care about myself now. Uh, I've learned because I've spent my whole life living for other people, trying to make them happy, and I don't care anymore. I don't need people's approval. Um, this guy was like, he started reading the police report, and he's like, you went over to Catherine's house, and you went through the doggy door, and this is a felony, and you should be a felon, and they let you off, you're lucky. And first of all, there's a reason why he's not a lawyer, okay? Uh, because he's a probation officer, all right? He's not smart enough to be a lawyer or to know the law, because a felony burglary is the intent to not just break in someone's home, but purely to break in with the intent to cause physical harm or threaten them with physical force. I've gone over these laws. I've lived them for 3 years of my life. Every single day, I just lived uh, in kind of like a comatose state. Um, I don't know if that's the right word, of just waiting uh, to when my time is up and I got to get on that plane and fly to Colorado for my court date, knowing that might be the last day that I'm a free man, or that might be the last day, and it starts messing with you. And for years and years and years, um, I had to live with this, and uh, he's like, you don't realize how serious the things you did, and yeah, I do. I went to jail. I got treated horribly by the correction officers. Okay, I was tortured. They put me in uh, a cement room. Okay, isolation, because I said I was upset and I was depressed, and they put me in a room for 7 days, naked, with one styrofoam cup of water a day. Okay, 7 days, because the psychologist there was, she was a sadistic bitch. Okay, she was sick. She was mentally fucked up. The nut was running the nut house. And the only reason why I got out is because on the seventh day, another psychologist that met me before, she opened the little food tray hole and she said, "Mr. Crawford, you're still in here? How long have you been here?" I said, 7 days. And she said, "No, no, no, no. I got to get you out of here." What they did was illegal, but you think they're going to get into trouble for that? I know if I did that to an enemy prisoner of war, I'd be spending the rest of my life in the brig for that. That would be a war crime. That's inhumane. And for 3 months, I was sitting there picking other people's puke hairs out of my nasty jail food, wearing other people's shit-stained underwear and being belittled and treated like shit. By the way, I was not convicted of a crime at the time. I just couldn't get on bond. I couldn't afford it. My dad couldn't afford it. My bond was 50 grand. They were charging me worse than a murder. Uh, they wanted to put me away for 64 years. That's 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 more than Derek Chauvin got, and he killed someone. Um, and then I had to go to court. I had to. The only way I could get out is to go to treatment, and I went to treatment for almost a year, and I had to live at the treatment facility, and that's the only way I could fight all of my court cases because when they put you in jail, you don't think rational. The only thing you think is, I got to get out of here. I'll take whatever plea deal they give me. You know, I don't care. I got to get out of here. You don't care about yourself, uh, like your reputation and having a felony, or you just got to get the hell out of there. You'll do whatever you can, and that's how they get you in the system, and then they fucking own you. And that's how they get the money, because you got to go and you got to take drug tests and piss tests. 25, $35 a pop several times a week. They wanted me to wear a GPS ankle bracelet. $500 a month. $500 a month. I have my own nice apartment, and that's $1,000 a month. Okay, my rent before this at my place, my other place, was 400. $500 a month for a GPS tracking unit. Okay. After my girlfriend admitted that I didn't, in fact, commit these crimes, they didn't care. I lived with this for every single day until the day that I finally sweated them out. I stood my ground, and I had a friend at the time that I'm grateful for. We're no longer friends. There was some issues, uh, but he helped me. He taught me about my constitutional rights and my civil rights and certain laws, and I took that knowledge and I used it to talk back and forth, communicate with my uh, the public defender. So she knew I wasn't stupid. And for 3 years, and I drank myself to death. I did. That's how I ended up like I am today. Because if Colorado wanted to take me and put me away in prison for a crime I did not commit, and they know I didn't commit it because my ex told the DA, told my public defender, was recorded, told was being recorded, and she even wrote letters saying all she wanted was me to just get help and treatment and that I never put my hands on her. And the DA literally said, well, thank you for the information, but I want my conviction. All they cared about was the conviction. It's the court system is not a justice system, it's a legal system and a money generating revenue system. That's what it is. And for 3 years, I lived like that. And I said, fuck it. If they want me, they could have my dead cold body. They could haul my fat carcass out of my fucking apartment when I die from fucking drinking too much. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. Every time I went to court, starting at the end, I started taking pill bottles and filling them up with everything I fucking could. Because if I thought that the court case was going the wrong way, I was going to ask for a bathroom break and I was going to go in the bathroom and down the entire bottle of pills and fucking kill myself. I live with that every day. And the man is saying that, I don't take my charges serious and I don't take what I did serious and you want everyone to feel sorry for you and and then I proceeded to tell him, well, she never got in trouble for what she did. He's like, well, that's not the point. Is that she's she's not the one on probation. You are. And I said, that's the problem. I said, that's the problem. Is she got away with murder. She got away with with abusing me for 5 years. He's like, well, you're a big guy. You can't sit there and tell me every time she hit you, she hurt you real bad. This is the world the average man lives in. It's okay to hit a man because we're bigger. Apparently, it's totally cool. We could take it. And I said, it's not about whether it physically hurt or not. I said it was embarrassing, it was demeaning, and who am I going to tell? I said every time I called the cops, they just about laughed at me. I told my therapist that she was starting to beat on me, and she didn't say anything. He was like, well, you should have left. And I said I had nowhere to go. Financially, I had no freedom. I I would have been homeless. I would have lost my job because my only option would have been is sleeping in my car and going to 24-hour fitness every time I needed to shit and shower. And I was paying $300 a month for rent to rent a room in her house with air conditioning and a roof over my head, and I felt like that was a better option at the time. I if if my job found out I was homeless, I don't know what they would have done. And he was like, "Well, you should have just got out of there." And I was like, "Well, it doesn't always work that way." And then there's the emotional thing where you care about someone and you don't want the relationship to end. You get to that point where you, you do something so crazy to fix the relationship that it's crazy. You're breaking the law. You're doing something stupid, insane. I mean, men have killed, murdered people over women. Wars have started over women and relationships. Okay, and you know And he was like, well, you see, you're just blaming it on other people. You're not taking responsibility. And I was like, what do you want me to do? How much more do you want me to hate myself? And I was like, you know what? You know what the problem is? I said it's everyone's fault, but you want me to take responsibility for everyone. I'm the sole one to blame. And he starts reading the reports that the cops wrote, and the cops they lied. They lied. They straight up lied. They said they had to drag me out of the car because I was not cooperative. That was a lie. I knew what was going to happen. When I turned down East Ohio Street, okay, I saw those lights and I was like, I could make a U-turn and they're gonna see that and come at my ass. Or I could just drive casually and maybe hope they don't catch me. But I knew I was gonna get caught. And I went back knowing I was gonna get caught. But I couldn't consciously live with myself because Kate fell down the stairs. And I couldn't live without knowing if she was okay or not. Because I'm a terrible, fucking horrible person. And uh, the guy showed up to my door with my in the window with a gun to my face, and he said, turn off the ignition, keep your hands on the steering wheel. I did that. He said, put your hands up. I did that. He said, exit the vehicle. I did that. And then some big bald-headed motherfucking Mr. Clean cop came up from behind me and body slammed me and dislocated my shoulder while he was laughing. And it didn't say any of that in the police report. It just said I resisted. Of course it did, because cops fucking lie. Um, and I was like, hey, that police report, you want to know why those cops were removed from the courtroom? Because they lied. Because they said that I did this, this, and this, and then my public defender brought up the body cam video, and guess what? None of that was on it. They lied. Not only did they lie, but I recently found out that they they illegally searched my vehicle. So there goes my Fourth Amendment right. They violated that. And don't worry, you're a free citizen because the boys in blue. Because of them, you have freedom. Remember that. And they stole my tobacco pipe, uh, my Gerber, my fucking expensive Gerber pocket knife, the spring assist, and they stole my holster. I had a very expensive custom-made holster for my HK USP 45 tactical. Uh, it was the last money I spent from my deployment that I had in the bank, and my ex fiance helped me pick it out. It was the last thing I had to remember her. They just stole it. So who do you call when the criminals that are breaking the law are the ones in charge of it? People are like, well, in my department, that would never happen. Well, this was Denver. This was Aurora. This was uh, Commerce City. Commerce City was especially fucked up. Um, these are several police agencies, and Sergeant Robbins, if you're watching this, and you're like, oh shit, Trapper's bitching again about cops. This is why. This is what they did to me. They hurt me. They took away what dignity after losing the person I loved most in my life. My job, everything, and then years later, the pieces that I had left, like that was like the last straw. And I was sitting there in fucking jail, being treated like shit by these correction officers that thought that they were like the biggest badasses ever. So that's why I said that about Trujillo. Maybe the guy didn't deserve. Maybe he had urine thrown on him. I don't know. If he did have urine thrown on him, well, the guy that threw it should have been charged with another crime. Beating someone's ass. People that aren't bad people that end up in jail, I'll tell you right now, they end up worse. Kind of like the Marine Corps. If you're a good kid and you go in the Marine Corps, um, a lot of times it kind of makes it worse. And the bad kids that get into trouble and they need guidance, they need something. The Marine Corps is great. It works for them. It gives them direction. And, the good kids end up kind of like fucked up. Um, but anyways, this guy, he's like, he just really wants me to understand how, the things I did were just so bad. And in my mind, I'm like, you know, the bitch is lucky I didn't fucking kill her. Or she's lucky that, I don't know, I didn't maybe do the exact same thing back to her and beat her ass for fucking 5 years. I don't know. He's like, well, it's not about her. It's not, no one feels sorry for. I was like, I didn't ask anyone to feel sorry for me. I don't get with this feeling sorry shit. What I'm saying is that I got into trouble. I got the blame. The stereotypes, they're all correct. If you're a man, you call the police and there's domestic violence issues, it's fucking you. You're going to jail. That's how it is. And I sat there and I told him, I said, every time I called the police, she sat there and she smiled at me. And she said, go ahead, Ryan, call the police. Who do you think they're going to believe? A little paralegal or a big crazy Marine like you? And first of all, I'd say there's nothing fucking small about you. Your ass has its own fucking orbital rotation, bitch. Fucking hated her guts. I tried to make something to work that I don't even understand why I did it because I really couldn't stand her. And, I get worked up and I get mad. And he's like, you just need to let it go. How can I let it go? How can I let it go when He keeps bringing it up and keeps wanting me to feel bad and bad and bad. How much more? So you know what? I took a shovel and I smashed her fucking windows out. The least she fucking she should have gotten. She should have gotten fucking her ass kicked. She should have gotten what she did to me. Okay? At that time, at that moment, I couldn't take it. I went back to see how she was doing, and one of the neighbors came up, started talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, her and that guy, they were pretty loud upstairs. You know, they were going at it, like they were fucking." And he said that to me, and all the years that I have been abused, either by my mother, um, by Jamie, getting spit in the face, getting punched in the testicles, um, by Kate getting hit in the face while she had an arm cast on, being punched, being slapped, being clawed. Uh, at that moment, I just broke. I snapped and I said, "Sir, you need to go downstairs, stay there. Shit's about to get real." And I saw her fucking car, and I went up to the car and I started punching it. And then, I was like, no, I need to do more. And then I saw a shovel. And I did. I did. I saw her in those fucking windows. And I smashed them. I hit them over and over again. Because at this moment, I realized she asked me to come over when there was a protection order. Yes, it was my fault. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it. It was stupid. I was thinking with my dick and I was thinking with my heart. I wasn't thinking logically. I just wanted to make it work. I wanted to fix it. And at that moment, I realized that she planned this. She set me up. She asked me to come over so she could attack me and say, "There's a protection order. You shouldn't be on my property." And I fell for it. And I lost it. And at that moment, I thought that it was a better idea to smash her car windows than find the nearest hospital, track her down, and fucking strangle her. Okay? I thought it was a better option than hurting someone else, than finding the guy that she was fucking when I was in treatment and killing him. Um, at that time, it was the only thing that I could do without. I don't know how to describe it. You would have to be there and you would have to feel it. It, telling you, all of this. I could tell you, I could write a book about it, but unless you were there and that happened to you, and at that moment, like all these years, all these people that you've dated and you just stood there and you let them hit you. And people are like, "Why don't you just leave? Why don't you just hold her down until she stops?" And you try that, and they just when you finally take your hands off of them, they start hitting you again. And then the leaving is like the hardest thing ever because You just want to fix that person. You just want to be the hero of the day. You want to you want to help them. And it takes something like this to learn that no one is worth that because they don't even love you. They don't respect you when they tell you to get the fuck out of their house or watch them get fucked by someone else when for years you've been there, not just as a romantic partner, but as a friend. The times that, she called crying, having a crisis, and I would drop everything I was doing and drive 25, 30 miles to go and console her and comfort her and to be there for her. That's why I don't care about what I did anymore because no one cared about me. The courts didn't care. The cops didn't care when I called them repeatedly. The cops didn't care when they heard over the 911 call of her hitting me. And that is evidence. That is criminal evidence recorded on dispatch. And they did nothing. I stopped giving a fuck and blaming myself and beating myself up over this because no one cared about me. And, everyone, even my counselors, they're like, you need to take responsibility. It doesn't matter that no one else got in trouble. You need to take responsibility. You need to be the bigger person. No, I don't. I'm done. I quit. I don't need to be the bigger person because the people telling me to be the bigger person, they'll never be the bigger person. They just want someone else to go do it. They want me to do it. It's time that I am done with me being the bigger person and being like, I did this. I'll go on probation. I'll take the blame. You know what? Doesn't matter. She hit me because the mistakes I made, they were my decisions. And, that's the only thing that matters. And I need to just keep beating myself up for it. You know what? I've had it because it's my time now to say, fuck that. Um, this would have never happened if the police did their job and arrested her and she had to learn a lesson that, hey, you can't treat people like this because you'll drive them crazy to the brink of insanity and then they start doing shit you see on TV. And mind my words, in this life or the next, someone, someone that's with her, they're not going to be as nice as me. Okay, she's going to end up on the news as one of those dead girlfriends, and I'm not going to fucking feel sorry. I'll buy the guy a bear that fucking does it. She's a goddamn fucking threat to society, not me. She's the problem causer. You know, when she came home from work, I didn't start in on her. I wasn't like, oh, how come you come home from work and you don't ask me about how my day was, or you don't come home from work and want to start working on my basement because that needs to get done. And I know you came home from work, but you got dishes to do. I never did that. Women have this knack of not shutting the fuck up. Okay, us guys, we want to come home from work. We want to take a shit, take a shower, and have something to eat. Have just a little bit of peace and quiet because of the bullshit we got to put up with at work of dealing with people's shit to keep our fucking shitty jobs. They come home and get bitched at by the women. That's why I'm single. Why do women feel the need to just get on our cases? I don't understand. I will never understand. I don't think anyone will ever understand why they do this. I know women that hate other women and don't talk to them because they can't deal with their shit. My best friend's wife agrees. She thinks other women are crazy too. Jen, if you're out there, give me a holler. Uh, you know, none of this would have happened if she would have just been like, you know what, I hate your guts. Um, don't date me. Just rent a room for me, and we'll keep it at that. She was the one that was like, oh, let's give it another shot. Like, oh, I love you, and then she started her shit. You know, I don't like the way you dress. The car you drive is shitty. Uh, you know, no one likes you. No, you can't find a stable place to live because you're a terrible person. No one wants to deal with you. And then it builds up. And I've literally stood there leaning on the wall, not saying anything, listening to her. And the whole time she's got her glass of wine there, and she's like, and you know what else? And she's like, you're just such a lazy piece of shit. Oh, oh, you can't do anything right in life. You know, you talk about your PTSD, and you just need to stop being a little bitch about it and get over it. And you're just you're just standing and leaning on the wall, and you're listening to this person. I mean, they start at the top and work their way to the bottom, and then work their way all the way up with the insults. And you stand there and you take it because you're supposed to be a bigger person. And like my probation officer says, well, you need to be a big person. Well, it doesn't matter how big you are. Uh, you know, I'm a human being. I have feelings too. I hurt like other people do. I may not show it in normal ways because the Marine Corps kind of screwed me up, but I hurt. I'll go in my room and I'll fucking cry. I'll go to work and go on my fucking breaks and go get pissed and shut the windows and scream in my fucking car, wondering what is wrong with me that I'm so hated. Yeah, I believe too. You know, and this probation officer, I don't know why I'm so upset over someone that wouldn't allow me to go to at least one of my grandparents' funerals when they both died in the same week. I mean, you gotta be a piece of shit. You gotta be a real special piece of shit. And he's over here busting my balls about how every time I walk in, I complain that I have to go to probation um, when I don't deserve to, because it's bullshit. And it is. If you look at our Constitution and shit, you know, or any kind of other country or anything, the damage to her car, I paid it. I paid way more than those fucking windows were worth. Okay, I paid for her therapy, which she was already going to therapy because she fucked up, and I paid for her medical bills when she fell down the stairs. Now, she admitted that I never pushed her, but somehow I still got to pay those medical bills and the loss of wages for being out of work because she fell down the stairs, and that's somehow my fault. Uh, I paid her half of 10,000 grand. Okay, those are some fucking expensive windows. I should have paid that fee. I should have paid for the window and just been on my way because probation at this point it's just me being harassed now. It's it's being bullied and being uh, uh, just slammed over and over again. And this guy, he's like, you need to, all those things that happened to you in the past, you need to just let them go. Can't let it go when you keep bringing it up. And he's like, well, you don't take it serious, so I feel like you're gonna go out in the public and do it again. And I'm like, you're dumb. I was like, have you noticed I'm single? And even if I was not single, I said the moment anyone ever disrespects me again, I don't care how hot she is, I don't care who she is, um, I'm gonna think about fucking picking out pube hairs out of my fucking food every time I meet a woman and she starts disrespecting me. That's the thing that's going to go through my head. Am I going to go to jail? Because no one should be, it's not a perfect world. People make mistakes. But the thing is that I can't afford those kind of mistakes anymore because I'm a hurt individual. I'm sensitive, and I got issues with women cheating, hitting me, every kind of imaginable fucking bullshit that you could think of. I have been through it, and I'm just tired. All I wanted was someone to love me and for me to love them back. I just wanted, that love that you just love the most. The the, the can't wait to get home. I you know the feeling you get in your stomach when you see your lady and your throat kind of starts tensing up and you're just happy to fucking see the bitch. You know, you're just fucking happy to see her and you want to take her out and you want to do nice things and you want to cook for her and you want to do something that will make her feel good because seeing her happy makes you happy. And that's where we get to a problem where people take advantage because they'll use that to hurt you. So I don't trust people anymore. And all the women that are my age, they're probably just as fucked up as me. They've been cheated on, beat up, whatever. And so they don't trust people anymore. So the whole world is fucked up because no one knows how to treat each other. But the bottom line, why I'm putting this video is is this probation officer that really wants me to take what I did serious and like rehash it Like I did something so horrible, and I'm like, honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like people kill each other every day. People beat on each other every day. I know. I've had it happen to me. And you're pissed off because I climbed through a doggy door because she was in the window making faces at me and mocking me after she locked me out. I mean, she incited all of this. Yes, I made a dumb decision. Decisions. It was in the moment. It was not rational thinking by any thought. I did it. I can't change it. And honestly, if I could change it, I don't think I would because I wouldn't have learned my lesson. I'm the kind of guy that I would do anything to save a relationship, whether it sucks hardcore, whether I even like them. I just have this issue with being abandoned. Like I can't stand being broken up with. Like I will push a relationship beyond its limits because I don't want to break up, even if I don't like them. I hate breaking up. I hate that kind of confrontation. And I find these women that are complete fixer uppers. And my favorite superhero is Superman, and I just want to be the hero of the day. I just wanted to fix them. And you know what? I learned my lesson because the only one that's gonna love me, take care of me, and what I've learned is I got people that care. They do, but in the end, when it comes down to my liver transplant, I understand there's people that just can't do it. They can't be a caregiver. People have jobs, they have responsibilities. But what I'm talking about is the real people, like my mother, that doesn't work, doesn't have pets, retired, Social Security, the whole the whole 9 yards. And when I need them, because apparently I bitch, moan, and complain, and I ask for people to feel sorry for me all the time. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I do that. I never say feel sorry for me. I have been through horrible shit, and I never say feel sorry for me. I just want some kind of guidance of why this happened. But when I need, at my time of need, when it's my time, and I need someone to be a caregiver to just literally sit there and stay in a hotel suite, and their only job is to make sure they take my medicines on time for a few weeks, up to a month, maybe. I get left behind. But hey, I need to stop feeling sorry for myself. Because after all, like my mother said, I did this myself. Fuck me. I don't know how much harder I could fuck myself. Uh, I don't know how much harder I could beat on myself. I don't know. I guess I guess the next step is when I get my guns back, uh, blow my head off. Maybe that'll make everyone happy. Or maybe I'll just die before getting a liver transplant. Maybe then I won't be blaming myself hard enough. So that's my thoughts. Fucking hate this world. Fucking hate people. Country sucks.